As the umpire puts it into the turf, and that's going to be playable for Smith. Robertson flashing through. Had it a long time, and that's the new...
A couple of years up at the Gold Coast as a development coach, having spent many a year in the development pathways here in Victoria, and he's highly regarded around the industry, and sensational at building relationships. So it's really good to see that the Frankston side are up.
And they've produced that absolute boatload of talent, especially over the last decade or so, as Robertson...
Doesn't it? And that's one thing Frankston have been exceptional at this year, is they've been really strong. Throwing a jumper on to get out there and coach on the field today.
Played 101 games for the GWS Giants, retired at the...
In forward 50 once so far, but Frankston certainly won the ball and won most of the clearances at the moment. Coming here, but certainly using the ball a bit more.
Gets very cold down there in Frankston, and they love their night games when it gets even colder. Robertson, another touch. It's been prominent early, Robertson, but hasn't...
Brisbane just need to work their way into the game and I guess show some patience with the footy. They're feeling a bit rushed at the moment. Having said that, the pressure from Frankston has been outstanding. They just need to have some patience on the footy here.
Chance to possess the ball here with the free kick in the ruck to Smith.
Yeah, I'm not sure he's who you want to be kicking the ball, but...
No, sometimes the big ruckman, not the best option, but long to a contest, not a bad result. Frankston for the Lions, Pryor and Dev Robertson, each with the 4. Frankston come away with it again. They're winning all the contests at the moment. Quirk had it turned over, and the Lions a chance to go forward. Little hurried kick. Gets to Henry Smith. Signed a contract extension for the next 2 years earlier this year.
Inside 50s to the Lions 4, but they just haven't got reward for effort. 6 shots at goal for 2-4. It could be 3 or 4 goals up at this stage.
And it has come back to haunt them, dominating games early, but not taking advantage on the scoreboard. As Abel
really put it together on the scoreboard.
And you just wonder about the psychology of these sorts of things. Still very early in this game, of course, but you dominate a team for what feels like an extended period of time, but you're just not able to build that lead on the scoreboard. When they come back...
I mean, this game's shown that if you don't take the most of your opportunities when you get them, the door closes very quickly and the momentum changes, and it can be game over very quickly, especially with a side like Brisbane.
Lawrence decided he's going to go back outside on the wing, and that proves to be a good option. Smith turns and goes. Had Robertson working hard. Feeds.
It's a kick he shouldn't have missed, and he did. And it's a turnover goal.
Smith and Grant go at it again. The former with the hit out. Grant tried to tap it on. Didn't realise he had no one there. Tunstall tried to invent a toe poke forward. Aberley through the traffic nicely. Able to feed Sharp, who's a good runner. Smith feeds Lloyd, who just chips it up. And Lohman, very late in this opening term. It's a 9-point game. Entertaining start to this one in the Smithies VFL. Round 13 action. But have scuffled a little bit since then. Big loss to Southport in Queensland. One of those losses as well.
He's had 7 touches first quarter.
17 disposals a game for Lockie Reedy.
Robinson 10 possessions in the first quarter. Tyson Mill 9, Jackson Voss 8, and Lockie Reedy 7.
Plenty of big names involved early on. No Noah Gown, of course, is going to make things really difficult inside 50 for Frankston. They're going to have to find other avenues for contested marks. Sharp, that's a dangerous ball. Just couldn't quite hang on to the mark in the end. Owens. O'Leary's going to be second to this ball. Aberley, Smith, and they work it out by hand. Brisbane.
He just had to hit the kick, but the smother by the Brisbane Lions and the desperation was elite.
Robertson's a bull in there. Can't break free, though, on this occasion. Grant with the hit out. Spills free to Tunstall, who...
The Brisbane midfield at this stage.
That is a big differential. It's hard to be competitive in a game of footy with those sorts of numbers. They only trail it by 15 at the moment.
Frankston players are now going with them. What that does is it creates more space.
I feel like I'm learning plenty today. It's great to have Lockie Buzzard. They've got it where they want it, though, the Dolphins. They need to kick the next one. Just for their own confidence, you suspect. Robertson, high ball, is going to be marked by Quirk. Response, and they got one.
So the Lions are trying to create more space around this stoppage, so they're trying to give themselves more width. So Frankston should be trying to push their players in under the footy. Because otherwise they just run through the stoppage.
Murphy overran it. Tunstall, Robertson. Murphy tried to bring him down in the tackle, but couldn't quite, and they come away with it, Brisbane.
Back again. They got back and filled up the hole, and they had numbers sideways. They just had to be patient with the ball, Frankston coming forward.
I can feel your frustration, Lockie, at every missed opportunity.
Harry Sharps had 10. So probably now need Frankston to get some of their midfielders to get their hands on the footy a bit more.
And they'd love to pinch one before half-time if they could. Grant wrapped up by Smith.
It looks like Tom Murphy's gone on the footy. He's only had 8 for the day, so certainly one of those players who stuck in his hands a bit dirty.
One of their better ball users as well, Murphy. So if they can get him kicking it inside 50, that would be a great benefit to them. Grant pushed Smith in the back pretty clearly. And Brisbane will come away with it. Not the best kick, though, from the big fella, but calling all the action for you on AFL.com.au and the AFL Live official app. That bounce is not going to be recalled. And they're going to get a centre clearance here, Frankston. So that's the area in which they were really struggling in that first half. Really the one area in there for this one. I'll get some thoughts from you probably later on in the second half once we see how this plays out. Lockie looking a little bit sore though, maybe just a stinger. I guess it's probably the best case scenario. Out to Sharp. Great effort from Grant as Voss misses the mark by hand though. Robinson there to retrieve. Craven has been involved. Back to Smith, back to Robertson. Hack kick inside 50. And underneath it, the one who wanted it most was Sharp. So back in the middle. Henry Smith has been the first choice ruck today with Darcy Fort over in Adelaide with the AFL side. Manly clears for Brisbane.
Snap on goal.
As a result, the Lions able to exit defensive 50 comfortably. Lane able to get their hands free through traffic.
Here they go.
They try and get some run off half-back. Doing well to dispose of the tackle was Manly. It's now on the board for Brisbane. Frankston only gives up 70 a game on average. So they're already over that. As we're back in the middle. Robertson to Tunstall and another clearance Brisbane's way. The next best Brisbane player is Aberley and Tunstall, and they've got 14 each. Milne has 19, the most on the ground for Frankston. Tunstall
Work rate
has really come on this season. Tomo Owens spent last year with Sandringham, didn't get a lot of opportunity.
17 and Sebastian Quirk 14.
Ball thrown in. Smith hits it.
It's almost NBA like.
Yeah,
trading players.
It really is. It's certainly not something we get a lot of in the AFL, that's for sure. And he's one the Lions will be looking to develop over the next couple of years. Trail it by 31 points at the moment. That could come back to haunt them. Here's Beacon. Noted as a good ball user. Kicked the ball at 94% efficiency. So he was doing very well for Woodville West Torrens in the Sandful. And the Lions able to work it out at defensive 50 again. Smith short ball.
I think they're in two minds as to hunt the footy or stop the opponent, which means they're getting clearly dominated at stoppage.
They've been allowed to use their athletic gifts, a lot of these Brisbane players, including Devon Robertson.
17. And for Frankston, Milne 20, Voss 16.
Very interesting to see what Dev Robertson's future holds. He was in demand from a couple of clubs in his native West. Frankston able to deal with it pretty comfortably defensively, but again, they're not the cleanest going towards the middle of the ground. And
8 clearance differential. And Devon Robertson being the best man on the ground with 25 touches at three-quarter time and probably 7 or 8 of those clearances. Here again, they're just starting to hit their straps now and putting pressure on the sides in the top 8.
On their last 4 games at this level, the Brisbane Lions. Robertson, Smith with some fancy work. Off to Madden.
Family at Christmas time.
Yep, absolutely. Back in the middle of the ground. Robertson, another around 60 out from goal for Frankston. And trail it by 40 points. If you just joined us, they kicked the first 2 goals of the game. before Brisbane hit back with the next 5 to lead it by 9 at quarter time. They led it by 20 at the half, and they've blown it out a little bit in the second half. They led it by 36 at the final change, and currently 40, as you can see on our scoreboard. Robertson paddles it along to Madden, who gets an inventive kick away to Tunstall. 1, Harry Sharp 18. Plenty of AFL listed Lions getting plenty of the ball. Tyson Milne 22 for Frankston. Tom Murphy, Trent Minor and Blake O'Leary each up to 17.
Move forward and kind of try to play the 1, 2, 3, 4 game with him and put him under pressure. Good tackle.
Owens on Madden on that occasion. Laid 8 of them last week. Tomo Owens, averaging 4.5 for the season. Provides a real physical presence. He knew that, so he's given it off to Voss, who's going to drive it long from outside 50, but didn't get the required purchase on the kick, and Smith is there for Brisbane.
I reckon that came off his instep then. He was,
grounds into Smithy's VFL. We've got the Gold Coast Suns leading Essendon by 24 points just down the road at People First Stadium. And the GWS Giants leading Sydney by a goal in the Battle of the Bridge. Beacon. Short ball.
Lloyd.
Over the top to Smith. Back to Beacon. On in this final term. It was an entertaining first half, but Brisbane have really run away with it in this second.
Clearances that have turned into pretty clear and easy shots at goal for the Lions.
Grant tries to slap it forward. All Brisbane though. Pryor taken in a strong tackle.
The positive for the Dolphins is take away the stoppages, and they've been really good and they've been in the game. So I know we can't do that in the game of footy, but if you take out the stoppage and the clearance advantage, they've actually been really competitive.
Free kick going Smith's way.
Pushing the back. Arguing his point with the umpire, but I'm pretty sure the umpire won't change his mind there.
Yeah, Angus Grant a little bit puzzled by the decision, we'll say. Of course, they always are. Kennedy off his hands, and Brisbane go forward again. It's a bouncing ball. Murphy's got 21 disposals for Frankston. Milne, the best for the Dolphins with 23 on the day. Maybe a fixture request.
Fixtures worked out beautifully for them.
For Frankston, this is their last interstate trip of the season, so I'm sure they'll be pretty happy with that as well, to not have to travel.
Ed will be down there to get the locals home.
And they absolutely love it when the Dolphins take it up to an AFL side at that venue, the people of Frankston. O'Leary.
Who have gone 2-7, 3-8, 5-14.
Something they need to tidy up if they're to be competitive.
Get out of that, but you might just find something with playing a half back on the midfield or giving your full back a shot in the ruck for a few minutes.
Been in amongst it. Excellent ball user usually, so to have him sending it inside 50 would be a good thing for the Dolphins going forward, you suspect. Voss now having a turn on the ball.
Yeah, they've just been a bit reactive at centre bounce or at throw-ins, just a bit reactive around the ball, waiting sort of to see what happens, and the Lions have just been stepping through and taking the ascendancy.
50-point game it is. The Lions led it by 9 at the first change, 20 at half-time, and 36 at three-quarter time. Whistle and a free kick to Smith, who's been able to handle a bit more of the ruck duties today with Darcy Fort not in the side. For the Dolphins, perhaps a chance to snag one last consolation goal as we approach the end of this one, but Smith uses his body well in the ruck, and maybe the Lions a chance to pinch one late.
I think they need someone who can come in and obviously has leg speed, someone with leg speed who can give them some real zip through the midfield. They just seem to me a bit at the moment they've got